The Dads That Game radio podcast is brought to you by Video Games Monthly. Video Games Monthly is a monthly subscription service that delivers retro video games to gamers who own classic gaming systems from the 1980s through 2000s. And the best part is, you keep the games. Check us out at videogamesmonthly.com.
Live from his wife's basement, still gaming into their elder years. This is the Dads That Game radio podcast. Now, here are your hosts, Michael Wolf and William Small.
Welcome to the Dads That Game radio podcast, voted #1 murder mystery in the Midwest by our fans. Thank you. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know if that's true.
Who done it?
I
guess.
That's what we're going to find out in today's episode.
All right.
See how I did that? It's great. Yeah, tied it right in. It's wonderful. Welcome to the show. It's show 115 for those playing at home. If you are, why? I have no idea. What are you playing? Seriously. How many times Mike says obviously or lies to you or just says something absolutely ridiculous? Well, congratulations. You've kept track. There you go. That's all I got to say.
And you're probably dead from alcohol poisoning.
Pretty much, yeah.
So.
Yeah. I remember when we started that game. I think it was after... What was it, after show 3?
Something like that.
Yeah.
We made the drinking game,
So for those of you, obviously, that have been fans from the beginning, we used to be sponsored by a beer... Well, it was a brewery, Forbidden Root. We are no longer sponsored by a brewery. We've been out of those days for a while. We're now sponsored by Video Games Monthly. But yeah, we used to be sponsored by Forbidden Root, and we used to have a drinking game. And we used to have rules for, every time I used to say obviously, or I'll be honest with you, or basically, it'd be like a drink of beer. And then we got sued because people were dying of alcohol poisoning.
And therein lies the murder for the mystery.
There's the mystery. See how I tied that back in? It's wonderful. Yeah. So, I don't know why I say dumb things sometimes. I just do. Whatever. Welcome to the show, though. Please make sure you check out our website. Go to www.noobsandpros.com. We got a story about what we did this week. It's going to be fun. Please check us out also Thursday nights, Podcast Radio Network. Please support them. Go to download their apps accordingly. You can download the TuneIn app and the Crikey app. On TuneIn, just tune it to Podcast Radio Network. On the Crikey app, tune it to 102.6. And you can find our shows Thursday nights, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Thank you for everybody that listens Thursday nights and hangs out with us. Also, thank you to our friends at Player One Coffee. Go to www.playeronecoffee.com. You can type in Dads That Game for the promo code for 5% off new orders. So thank you to them. They always have new coffees to try, too. I did not know if you knew that. So I learned a lot this week. I did.
All right.
So, yeah. I learned where April Fool's Day comes from. I learned that if somebody tells you that they have Chilean sea bass or whitefish, that they're full of crap. Yeah. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah.
All
so
right.
there's no stipulations on the fish market. And actually, whitefish has been extinct for many, many years. So if anybody ever tells you they have whitefish, it's just BS. A lot of the times it's just tilapia. Same thing goes with if anybody ever tells you that there's Chilean sea bass, it's just BS because there's no such thing. Yeah.
That's like when people say cod versus haddock versus all these kinds of white, fish, fish, that they really are all the same thing.
It's pretty much just tuna, just out of the can. Just rearranged and seasoned differently, pretty much. I don't know where I was going with that. I just thought it was interesting to learn this week. Oh, and then April Fool's Day actually started in France. There was a king that he basically proclaimed that New Year's Day was now April 1st as a joke. And then people actually started showing up to parties April 1st. And that's where April Fool's Day actually comes from. So people who still celebrate it are fools. So the more you know. Ding, 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 ding. Fun. Moving on. This is what we do. We say stupid stuff, and we move to the left, and then we come right back to the right. I wanted to give a special shout-out to everybody that went to Next Level Expo this weekend. Ton of fun for us. Noobs and Pros were a part of that group. We had a booth. I think it went really well. We had a very fancy booth. We had we had like maybe, I don't know, like a half of what we normally, well, not even a half, like maybe a quarter of what we normally have set up for Battlegrounds, set up for Next Level Expo. So we got a ton of great exposure. We saw a lot of cool, special shout out to Midwest Gaming. They've actually, I did not realize how big they are in the Midwest, but they hold tournaments all the time. They just go around to different cities all over the Midwest, and they hold tournaments. So cool. they were up there. So we got to see a lot of cool tournaments. We saw our friend Dupree, Black Vegeta. He took third in the Dragon Ball Z tournament. So very cool to watch him fight. The kids that he was playing though, that he lost to, just insane. On how they play Dragon Ball Z. And like he's not a bad fighter. Like he won King of the Hill tournament Evo. I mean, he's been to obviously Combo Breaker. He's top like 300 in the world. He knows how to fight, but these kids that he was fighting just unreal.
Just insane.
Insane. I could not. I don't know how they do it. And it was actually kind of cool because we met an announcer that actually travels around with Midwest Gaming. Super cool guy, and actually he's interested in being on the show. We may have him on the show coming weeks. So a couple, just coming up, obviously. But then it was kind of funny because we basically, after all the tournaments were done, everybody ended up like at our at Noobs and Pros booth. So like we had all the announcers, like everybody that were competing and stuff like that, and basically we just broke out into a Tekken 7 like mini tournament, like right in our booth. And this guy that does the shoutcasting for Midwest Gaming, he was just killing everybody on Tekken 7, just killing everybody. And then I jumped on there, and I was like, oh, okay, I played Tekken 7. I'm pretty good with, what's her name? Alaska Bavanovich, whatever her name is, the girl with the sword arms. I just got destroyed. And like after the first game, I walked away because they're like, well, no, they're like, there's 2 games, dude. And I'm like, no, I'm good. I know when I've been beat. So I was like, that's enough humiliation for me in one day. But we had, it was just a ton of fun. There was VR expos everywhere. They had vendors. They just a lot of cool stuff. The interesting thing about this Next Level Expo was it's held in Ames. They're already planning another one for the spring. They want us back, which is fantastic for us. Like we were just honored to be a part of it in the first place. I did not realize though they only had a month and a half to plan this thing, which is nuts for planning an expo like this. So month and a half, they did a fantastic job. This time they're gonna have more time, like maybe 6 months. I can only imagine what they'll be able to do at this expo in 6 months. So but it was really cool. We got to be on a panel. We talked about streaming with another guy. His name's Josh. I remember he's from some pirate thing. I'm trying to remember. I'll get yelled at later for it. But it's fine. I don't think he listens to this show, so I'm sure I could say whatever. He kind of talked. He kind of talked a lot. That's all I gotta say. So
he talked a lot and he sounded like a pirate. Okay.
He didn't sound like a pirate. No, he was a pretty cool guy. I mean, he was just like one of those. He was like a bro though, like like a bro.
Gotcha.
Like with a beard that plays paintball. Like he was a bro. That's all I can say.
Gotcha.
Like I have nothing against him, but just that's how he acted. And then we were only slated to basically be in this panel for an hour, and he talked so much we ended up being in there for 2 hours, man.
Wow.
And like me and Brian were like sitting by each other because I was like the moderator reading questions. Him and Brian were on the panel, and then like you could tell just like Brian was getting tired, like, dude, like just stop talking. For the love of God, we need to go. Yeah, like we were only supposed to be scheduled for an hour, and then somebody was supposed to come get us. Nobody ever came into the room and tell us, time's up, please, go away. So he just
it was the show that never ends.
He just kept talking, and like I said, he's definitely a bro. If you've ever known a bro, you'll know what I'm talking about. So yeah like just like like, one of those dudes that does extreme sports and drinks like, 7 Red Bulls a day, like a bro like that. That's pretty much how I can describe his personality. And I was just like, okay, dude, yeah. I mean, he was a nice guy. I mean, he was really cool. He hung out with us pretty much all day, and then he left. But, we were just like, easy, calm down, bro. So, yeah, a couple times. I'm sure. He's a streamer. So he's on Mixer. I don't remember his name, though. Like I said, his name's Josh, but he goes by his Pirate Foundation, and they play paintball for charity all over the place. And, he does a lot of cool stuff, but, yeah, like I said, it was interesting just to hear him talk. Yeah, and he did not stop. So, cool, bro. Cool story, bro. That's all I got to say. Yeah. Cool story, bro. So let's move on. Let's talk about week in release, obviously. I'm kind of upset with week in release, Will. I'll tell you why.
Yeah. Why?
Because a game that was supposed to be out that's been delayed decided to secretly release as of today. But I'm hearing it's not doing so well. We'll talk about it, though. So let's start off with today. Obviously, this is going to cover you from August 20th all the way up until the 25th. So the first game you can get yourself as of today, Under Night In-Birth EXE Late. We talked about that previously. That's on PC as of today. You can get yourself Super Spell Heroes on iPhone and Android. Why are we carrying iPhone games? I don't even care. Except mobile gaming is supposed to apparently being huge, I guess. Here's the game, though, that it took me by surprise. I had to double check because I saw the post today, and I was like, holy crap, it is out today. Morphe's Law. I don't know if you remember this game. Morphe's Law is the game where you can basically, it's kind of like Splatoon. It's basically very PvP-ish, but you can blow up body parts. So, you can make your teammates bigger or smaller. It was supposed to be out. I guess it's been delayed quite a bit, is what I've been hearing. So it's been delayed. And then secretly, with no word of warning, released today. Boom.
Just out.
Yeah. Just like that. It's on the eShop right now, so you can definitely go pick it up. I'm hearing that I was interested in it, so I actually read a couple of reviews, watched some videos on it. People are saying it's not horrible, but for a $20 game, it should be more polished than the free games out there, and it's not. So there's shooter games, obviously, that are free out there, such as Fortnite and Paladins and things like that, that are free downloads, and this is $20, and nowhere close to those other games. I don't know how I feel about that. Kind of disappointed, because I thought it was a cool... When we heard about it at the Nintendo Direct, I thought it was a cool concept. I thought it was interesting, and I was kind of excited to hear about it, and then to hear that it's not doing so well. Kind of upsets me. Plus the whole let's be secret about the release thing. Why? No idea. So if you are a developer of Morphe's Law, give us a call. 515-991-1756. Phone lines are now open, so feel free to call in at any point in time. I'm going to get calls randomly throughout the week now. Thanks, Mike.
Yeah, just random people are going to call you.
Random people call me. And I'm like, who is this?
You'll get a bunch of calls Thursday night.
Yeah, probably. I'll talk to you. I'll talk to you during the show. So don't think I won't. Test me. Go ahead. Call me. I dare you to.
Call right now.
Call me right now.
Ask a question. Say something. Talk to Mike.
At any point in time,
talk to me.
At any point in time during the show, if we get a call, I'm going to laugh. We'll see what happens. So, but the other game you can get as of today is Spectrum on Nintendo Switch and PS4. I have no idea what Spectrum's about. I saw it was out, but it's interesting. Starting tomorrow, though, you can get yourself Shenmue. I can't pronounce these names. Will, help me out. Shenmue 1 and 2. SHENMUE.
Yeah, you said it pretty much. That's right. Okay. Shenmue, I think.
Okay.
I think it's Shenmue. It could even just be Shenmue or Shenmue. I don't know. I can't even. I'm going to keep saying Shenmue.
Yeah, I can't even pronounce it half the time. Along with a lot of other words, but that's a different story. So, but you can get yourself Shenmue 1 and 2, PC, PS4, Xbox One. You can also get yourself All-Star Fruit Racing. Fantastic. Nintendo Switch and PS4. That is exactly what it sounds like. It's basically just a bunch of fruit. Kind of go-karting? I don't know. Like I see watermelon wheels and lemon wheels and limes. Interesting. You can also get yourself Brawl Out on PlayStation 4. Brawl Out has been out before. Obviously, it's been on Nintendo Switch, coming over to PS4. Fall of Light on PS4. Little Dragon's Cafe on PS4 and Nintendo Switch. Pizza Titan Ultra. I wonder what that's about. No idea. Okay, we'll move on. That's on PS4. Here's another cool game coming out if you ever were a fan of the first one, but Guacamelee 2 finally coming out. PS4 and PC on the 21st. It's it for the 21st. Out of the box on the 22nd on Nintendo Switch and PS4. Gone Home on the 23rd on Nintendo Switch. You can get yourself Kero Blaster on Nintendo Switch. My Farm on Nintendo Switch. Shio on Nintendo Switch. Warhammer 40,000 Inquisitor Martyr on PlayStation 4. The Low Road on Nintendo Switch. Hacky Zack on Nintendo Switch. Night Trip. That was it for the 23rd. 24th, you can get yourself Night Trip on Nintendo Switch. If you guys don't remember, I'm sorry, not Night Trip. I'm sorry, Night Trap.
Night Trap.
I apologize. Yeah. Night Trap is an old 80s game. Well, not even 80s, 90s. Sega CD game. Very first game they used like real-life actors in. I still think it's interesting that they put it on Nintendo Switch. Might be worth a check out on Switch. I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe. Sort of.
I never even played it on Sega CD, so I know what it is. I know what it is because I've seen tons of videos of it and I've seen gameplay of it. But it's just it's like the dumbest concept I've ever heard of for a video.
It's really ridiculous.
It was interesting because they used real life people, first time before they started doing like Command and Conquer cutscenes and stuff like that. But yeah, this one was like it was like ahead of its time, I guess. But doesn't mean it translates well into a video game. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
Also, you can get yourself F1 2018 on PlayStation 4, Island on PC. That's it. That's it for the week, kids. Sorry. A lot of stuff coming up, though. Hang in there. I feel like I say that every week, but honestly, I do mean it. Like, there's still a ton of games coming out within the next 2 months. So, hang in there. Yeah, I guess. Probably. Maybe. Moving on. All right. Fun. That's my middle name, Michael Fun Wolf. Actually, it's Ellsworth. It's a family name. Whatever. Moving on. Take a shot if you're paying attention at home. Got it. Let's talk about, obviously, news you can use. Interesting week for video gaming. And actually, before we go to news, I have a bone to pick with you.
Uh-oh.
Because you told me something that I had to walk away from because of, obviously, romance and love purposes, but you started playing again. You started playing... God. Yeah, you started playing World of Warcraft again. What the hell, man? What the hell?
Because I just was like, you know what? Yeah. I'm going to just take a look. And then the next thing I knew, I didn't even get the new expansion yet. Like, I paid the $15 and started playing Legion. Okay. So it was the expansion from last year. So I'm now pushing myself up to level 110 so that I could do the new expansion.
I got you.
But I have to say that it is so friendlier now, like so much easier to jump into now than it used to be.
Sure.
Like with this character, I started off. Did you ever play the what was the Death Knight class? Like the last hero class.
No, I left right at Wrath of the Lich King. So no, I did not. No,
that was right around when the Death Knight character was released. But you had to have a character that was already, I think, at max or something like that.
Oh wait! Death Knight. Yeah. They're like half knight, half mage kind of thing. Yeah. I remember.
Yeah, and you did like the whole what's his name like Scorpion move where you do like the get over here,
the chain pull. Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
So this is the Demon Hunter's basically like that. Like when you start, you are already level 98.
Oh, okay.
And so, but it still eases you in and gives you abilities every like level or two, and then you get more and more. And then by the time I'm level, I think 107, almost 108.
Okay.
I have a whole zone I haven't explored, and I'm still not done in the zone I'm in, but I have almost a full bar of abilities, and I'm good at it.
Yeah.
Plus, I rolled mine as a tank versus a DPS because guess what? Every time I try to go into an instant, I just get picked up right away because I'm tank.
Sure.
But it's so cool. It reminds me of Burning Crusade. And that was the Burning Crusade was, I think, their first expansion.
Right.
So it's kind of like playing through Legion is basically playing like more Burning Crusade, but from a different perspective.
I get you.
And it was really cool, like the whole Illidan Storm Rage thing, and like there's all this stuff that you didn't know about from way back then, and it's really cool. So I know, but my love affair is probably very short-lived.
Sure.
I mean, I'm going to play it for right now, and, I'll play up to the 110, and then if I feel like it, I'll do the new expansion, and I'll play that up to, 120. But I guarantee you, I just don't have the attention span long-term for it, really, anymore.
Right.
But for right now, it's like seeing an old friend you haven't seen in forever, and you guys start talking and you realize that you're still best buddies.
Yeah.
And, I mean, that's really cool. But eventually you guys are still going to be like, oh, but, my life is over there now and you're over here. So It is what it is. It's cool and I like it, but I don't think it'll ever hook me the way it did originally.
I don't know. Like, I still think of World of Warcraft as an old friend that owes me $3,000 and took my and basically robbed me of my virginity. That's how I feel about World of Warcraft. Yeah.
The only difference now is that apparently, if you make a lot of money in game, you can actually pay your monthly subscription with gold.
Oh, okay. So it actually
you don't even have to.
Pays to play.
Yeah, you don't even have to actually use real money if you just earn. I think it was like 100,000 gold. Around like 100,000 gold or like whatever, something around that amount of money was a whole 30-day subscription.
Wow. So they really kind of revamped the system that cut out gold farmers then.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, because if you buy gold, that defeats the purpose of if you play the game and you make a lot of gold, then you can just take that gold you made and pay your subscription fee and it all works out. So it's pretty neat. How that all works out, and I mean, just in a couple days worth of playing, I've already got like 10,000 gold, and it's not like it's that hard to make money in game if you know how the game works. So I don't know, it's a great game, but again, for me, Divinity 2 comes out in 2 weeks,
right?
And that was hailed. I mean, that game was hailed as one of the best RPGs, like to set the standard for PC last year, and now that it's coming to console, I waited specifically for the console release, so I am so excited for that's going to probably take me away from any of this wild madness that's going on.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Just like I said, it's a love-hate relationship with the World of Warcraft. I
think anybody that's played it feels the same way, though.
True.
You know, I mean, it's like comfort food. You love it.
I know people still love it, and people still play it. I mean, people have been going 10 years strong, but I mean, it's just one of those things for me. It's like I said, I told you. I mean, I have an addicting personality. I know if I played it, then today's going to become Thursday, and I've missed 4 days of work, and you
don't know where you don't even realize that you haven't showered, you haven't moved, you haven't done anything, you haven't talked to anybody.
Right, my kid's missing, and my wife has been dating somebody else for 3 months.
Exactly.
That's how
you
I
don't
feel.
even realize.
Right,
and it's crazy that it's that. I think what I like the most about it, though, is it has the most intricate world. Like, even though the visuals aren't great compared to today's standards,
sure,
it built so much lore and so much into every zone that it just feels great. You know what I mean? Like, the story as you play just feels really cool.
Sure.
So I don't know.
Like I said, man, I have different feelings than you do. Like, yes, I consider it an old friend. But like I said, it's also a friend that took, thousands of dollars of money from me and, probably robbed me from, probably taking better care of myself or, trying to attempt to.
I can agree with that.
Yeah,
I played.
Yeah.
I ignored ignored people and doing things and going out for a long time for that game.
I did too.
So, yeah.
I used to play it like I used to go to work, log in, raid every freaking night, go to bed, 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning, and then, just do it every single day. And I'd go to I'd go to school in the mornings, go to work in the afternoons, after work, World of Warcraft. That was it. Yep. So, yeah, there's that.
All right. Well,
like I said, just some people can handle it, some people can't. I cannot. I'm sorry. So that's why I try to stick to single player games, obviously now. But I've never because for me, unfortunately, with MMOs, after World of Warcraft, there was Rift.
Right.
And then I got super into Rift, and then
I always joke that Rift was WoW's younger, sexier sister.
Pretty much, yeah.
Because it was exactly the same formula. Yeah. It was just prettier.
It was, yeah, and it just, there was, I felt like there was more stuff to do, and the thing was, is when I played the World of Warcraft, I was in a top guild. We raided every freaking night. We were number one on servers and a lot of stuff. But it takes a lot to do that. It takes it's a full time job to do it. And then I left World of Warcraft, started playing Rift, got super deep into Rift, and I was surprised. My wife told me I couldn't play World of Warcraft, but then she let me play Rift. But then I figured it out really quick that I was doing the same thing with Rift that I was doing with World of Warcraft, and I quit that as well. So it's when I was in Rift, I was in a super high-end guild, and we were raiding again. It was just, it's just the same story over and over and over again.
Yep.
So I don't have the personality, unfortunately, can do it. Well, maybe not personality, but just maybe I don't know, mental capacity.
My issue was more the always desperate need to want to not be missing out.
Ooh, we're getting a call. Hold on. Hello. Dad's the Game Radio Podcast. How can I help you?
What's going on, guys? It's Brian from Noobs and Pros.
Holy crap, it's Brian from Noobs and Pros. How's it going, man?
All right, how y'all doing?
Good, man. What's up?
Not a deal. Let's call in and check on y'all guys. Make sure y'all cool over there. I ain't heard from Will in a while.
Yeah.
So make sure you ain't killed him over there.
No, he's good. I don't think Will can hear you, actually. Can you hear him?
I can't hear him.
I didn't think you could. Okay.
No.
All right. So this is going to be...
Just say I'm talking bad about him.
This is
awkward.
Yeah, this is going to be awkward for a couple minutes. I'm going to cut Will and talk to Brian. We were just joking and seeing if anybody would actually call us. So thanks for calling, man. That's pretty awesome. So...
no problem.
We were just talking about Next Level Expo. How did you like it, man? I thought it went really well for us. So for Noobs and Pros as a group. Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah.
Me and you had a nice conversation on the way up there about the things we want to do in the future and all that other stuff, and it showed me that it was possible.
Yeah, definitely. Do our own convention, things like that. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So I loved it. I loved the whole atmosphere. You were there for the whole Tekken beatdown that everybody caught.
We were actually. I was actually joking about that, Will, with the Tekken little late night Tekken competition everybody was having. So yeah, I just played one. Yeah. I played one game and I walked away because I was like, yeah, I'm dumb. So.
Yeah, I did the same thing too.
Yeah. I was just like,
the same thing.
It's not gonna happen. So.
Yeah. Everybody came back for like 3. It was like, I think the most somebody fought against him was like 3 or 4 times. Yeah. And they got whooped every time.
Yeah.
And it was like, just put down the sticks and just leave it alone.
Yeah, it was unreal. So.
Yeah. He was good at what he does. So yeah.
Very true.
Yeah. But yeah, I loved it. It's like I said before, we talked about it, and I think it's clearly possible in our state, in our city, and I think that's something, people should look forward to.
Definitely. So if anybody's listening right now, obviously check us out Saturday because we have Battlegrounds again. We'll be out at the Mickle Center. We'll be looking for donations if anybody wants to donate to our cause. But we'll be out there Saturday. We'll be pitting it all up again. We'll have all the fighters we had. And it should be a good time. So, anything?
Yep. And the time changes this time around. 5 to
10 or 5 to 11. I think we'll figure it out.
Yeah, it was something like that. We'll say 5 to 10.
5 to 10. Yeah, I know. We were going to midnight, and it was just getting too much. So.
Yeah, it was kicking our butts at the end of the night.
Killer. All right. Well, thanks for calling, Brian. We appreciate it, man. I'm gonna let you
problem.
go
because
Will can't hear you, and it's just awkward now.
Yeah, you tell him I was talking real dirty.
It's okay. I didn't want to talk anymore.
So,
all right, then.
All right, buddy. Thanks for calling. We'll talk to you later.
Yep. All right.
Bye now.
Bye.
All right, so the phone idea is a horrible idea. We're sorry, Will.
That's okay.
I thought it would be. I have no idea how to make it so you can listen in too. I have no idea. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Well, that was Brian from Noobs and Pros, everybody. Yeah, he called in. Fantastic. So that's actually pretty funny that somebody actually called in this time. So now we're just not a bunch of chumps.
All right.
It worked out this time. Let's talk about, obviously, I think people can call in on our Google Hangouts. Let's do that next time. Yeah, let's just do that from now on. That way everybody can listen and talk to each other. But let's talk about, obviously, news you can use this week. We'll start off the week of stories that actually came out. We can now officially say we were right, Will. We can officially say it. We've been calling this for a long time. I don't know how long. We said for the longest time that Diablo 3 was going to come over to Nintendo Switch. We just had no idea when. It's happening. Diablo 3 officially announced. There's a video actually on our Twitter page if you want to go check it out. It's Mike from Blizzard actually calling Reggie and talking about, Diablo 3, so it's actually pretty cool. But yeah, obviously Blizzard's popular dungeon crawling action RPG Diablo 3 is coming to Nintendo Switch. It's the Eternal Collection for Switch will offer previously released DLC, offline play, couch and online play, co-op play, that is, I'm sorry. Blizzard officially announced the port shortly after a leak appeared a day before Diablo 3, the Eternal Collection. I'm sorry. There was a leak, I think, before they were supposed to, because Gamescom's going on right now. Yeah. And Gamescom is from the 21st to the 25th, so it starts tomorrow for all the Twitter stuff and everything like that. So you can check that out online. But there was a leak, obviously, and then I guess they just went with it. So it's been all over the internet lately. But it's supposed to. This is just a rumor. I have no idea the validity of it. But I know for a fact the game itself is going to come with the Eternal Collection is what it's called, but it's going to come with Reaper of Souls and Rise of the Necromancer expansions included in the game. But also there's supposed to be, this is just what I've heard, I'm pretty sure it's going to happen, but Legend of Zelda cosmetic items. So
that would be cool.
They said players to the Switch will get exclusive access to Ganondorf armor set, Cuckoo, obviously the chicken, and a companion pet, which is worth its weight in gold all the way, and the Triforce portrait frame. Here's my question, though. $60 price tag.
Yeah.
Yeah. The game was out in the game's been out since 2012. I feel like this is Skyrim all over again.
It is, but you know what has two thumbs and will buy that again?
Mm-hmm.
This guy.
Sure, I understand. I think it would be cool to play it on the. I just think we were talking about this the other day.
Yeah.
If you've never gotten into it, great time to get into it. I've been playing this game since day one. Is my problem.
Yeah.
I was playing the beta. So
I have it on PC. I have it on. I have it on PS4.
Right. Me too.
But I never got the Necromancer DLC. So that's what I'll do is when I get it on Switch, I will get it, and then I will just immediately just roll a Necromancer.
Well, and see, that's my problem because I played the seasons, and seasons are going to be a part of this edition as well. They're not leaving anything out. Seasons are fantastic just because it challenges you to play the game again, but also gives you a new challenge because it increases in difficulty over and over and over again.
I watched. I don't know. They like a couple different sites have just within the last couple hours posted footage of them playing it on the Switch, and the game looks just as good as it does on any other system.
And it's got to. It's
because it's an older game.
Yeah, the requirements are going to be super hard to do on the Switch. Yeah, you're talking about a 2012 game, so
right. Yeah. And so it doesn't lose anything by being on there.
Yeah,
and it lends itself perfectly to that platform. If I can take Diablo and play it wherever the hell I want. Again, it's a no-brainer. For games like that, it is an absolute no-brainer.
Yeah.
It is made, the Switch was made for games like that.
Sure.
So.
Well,
I think it's great.
There was another story too, and obviously it's talking about rehashing games on the Switch, and we can take a couple minutes and talk about this for a while. But there was also a rumor that they were going to bring Super Mario U. That was on the...
Yeah, I saw something about that, too.
Yeah, that was on the Wii U that was actually... They're going to port it over to Switch as well. I just kind of feel like... I love the Switch. I love the ability... that they're developing third-party games all the time with it. I guess I kind of go back to the argument, like, I'm happy with the Switch because there's 1,000 more games ever on the Switch than there ever was the Wii U. That was the biggest complaint we had about that. I'm not going to rehash that. My problem is like, I just want to see new games. Like... I want my Metroid game. I want my Luigi's Mansion game. I want my,
I want new games, right. But I'm not. We always joke about how the Switch. Well, people joke in general and just say that the Switch is just the port machine.
Sure.
But there's so many good things that by putting them on the Switch, even if you've already played them, become almost better just because of the portable ability to it. So I get that, but like you said, we want more new games and not 200 indie games a week. Right. I get it. Like they said that they're basically going to drown all of us that own a Switch in indie games.
And they have
that's great.
They have been.
That really is great. And you know what? They're some of the best indie games I have ever played.
Oh yeah. No, I'm not disagreeing with you. Yeah.
It's just, again, I want more beefy titles.
I do.
And I would like something more to drop this year, aside from Smash Brothers. Sure. Because, you know what? That's a cool game, and it's, I know it's going to make a lot of people really happy.
Yeah.
But...
I just feel like it's not enough. Yeah.
It's not. Do you think that that's a console-selling game?
Yes and no. Yeah, I mean, for the fans of it, yes. For, everybody that's been on it since day one, no. So,
mass consumption appeal, though. No. In the same way that Breath of the Wild made, the attach rate to Breath of the Wild and the Switches was insane.
But the one thing that I did learn about at this Next Level Expo, this is one thing I did learn, and I did not realize how huge it was. Smash Brothers has its own underground community that you don't ever hear about, but it is freaking massive.
Crazy, yeah.
Crazy massive. Like, just the fighting aspect alone of the game. Like, I did not realize how many conventions like Smash Brothers actually has by themselves. They said there's one in Detroit that's just massive, and then there's one I think in California. They said it's just unreal. Yeah. Like, there's two a year that are just unreal, along with like Evo and obviously like Combo Breaker and things like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I guess Nintendo is always known more for its not first person, but single player titles for the most part, or couch co-op kind of games.
Yeah.
Things like that. Mario, Zelda, Metroid, I guess not Castlevania, but I guess at the same time, the old original one, sure.
Well, goddamn, I would love a new Castlevania game. Get out of here, So,
no, I'm saying I would love one, but it's not. That wasn't like happen. Nintendo. That was
Konami.
Konami.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. They are the heroes of the single player story and making them all AAA experiences, even if they're not up to the AAA visual standards of what other studios are doing for other consoles. But at the same time, it's just one of those things where it seems like they're leaning more and more towards multiplayer everything like everybody else. And, I don't like it. Gaming to everybody is a different thing, like to each person. But to me, it's, a lot of times it's just my downtime for me, and I want to enjoy a story. I don't
think that's been their primary focus, though. I don't think they've been primarily focused on just multiplayer games. Because they have a ton of single-player stuff as well. But, I understand what you're saying. Like, a lot of the games obviously coming out right now, indie games are, obviously Paladins and Fortnite and things like that have been focused on the multiplayer community. But I think they've had to do that because they neglected it previously.
They did, and I get it.
Yeah.
But I need them to announce more information on something else that's happening.
Well, unfortunately,
in like some other big game.
Well, and unfortunately, we have Gamescom obviously this week, So I wouldn't be surprised if obviously we heard another announcement from Nintendo about something. But I honestly I don't know what it's going to be, and I don't think it's going to be anything major. I don't think there's going to be anything major besides Smash until next year. Like, I think next year they'll come out and kill it again. But honestly, I think this was the year that it was a rebuilding year, and they've done that. They've rebuilt their company. They've rebuilt, their brand. And I don't see it, going any further, unfortunately. I just really don't.
Yeah. I mean, it just bums me out. Games like Dragon Quest XI that will be out very soon
in Japan.
On everything.
Yeah.
No, we're getting our...
that's right. It's finally coming out. Yeah, on PS4.
We're getting it here on PS4.
Right.
But the Switch version, they said, is a long way away.
Sure. And that's kind of, I just kind of feel like that's what, this is kind of going back to my argument with Diablo. Diablo was a 2012 game. I mean, it's 6 years old. I just kind of feel like everything that's ported over, like, I don't mind the ports. I really don't. But it's like, you take old games, you port them over to the Switch. Fine, you're creating a new audience for the game. Great, I get it. But it's like, it doesn't really satisfy me anymore. I don't like once I buy a game on one console, like, I'm truly okay not having to spend money on every flipping console that I own, regardless of, now I have portability or now I have new armor sets. I mean, they did the same thing with Skyrim. I mean, Skyrim was super old. They finally brought it over to Switch. I mean, it was just, I just kind of feel like this is their new MO. Like, they're like, what other games can we bring over? Oh, Night Trap. Right. Great. Yeah. We're going to bring over Night Trap now. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing anymore. And every time we try to guess, we're always
do something different.
Well, we're always wrong. It's like they always have a mystery wrapped inside of a riddle. That's unfortunately that's just how they run their business. So,
I did hear a mystery rumor today that by the end of 2019, Nintendo could potentially be releasing a 4K Switch with.
That's what I heard too. I've heard that, and that kind of ticks me off as well because I'm tired of upgrading my damn system for another $200 to $300 every 2 to 3 years. This model is not going to work for everybody. We're not rich here.
No, it's not. But it makes sense if they are doing that, simply because
just to keep
people have
keep the support of the Switch.
Well, keep the support up, but not only that. But think about the fact that they said, "Oh, we're not going to really do anything for VR," but then they found that there's VR
games probably in development.
There's like a VR architecture built into the Switch.
Oh, okay.
It's in there.
Gotcha.
So if that's there and they said that they weren't, you know what I mean? Of course, they always play their cards so close to their chest that no one knows what they're doing.
Right.
But, if they suddenly say, okay, we get it, the Switch was hugely successful, so we're going to do like a Switch 2.0.
Sure.
For those people that do want to be able to play the cutting-edge games like on the other systems, well, now you can on the Switch, but it will be it'll be like getting your PS4 Pro or Xbox One X.
But see, here's the thing, though. Like, I'm tired of that, and honestly, I don't think I'm going to buy into it anymore unless there's severe discounts that they give you for trading in.
Yeah,
because I am tired, just sick and tired of buying a new PS. The PS4 Pro, obviously, Xbox One X thing ticked me off like no other.
Yep.
I get why they did it. It was because 4K came out that year. I mean, 4K, obviously, TVs, 4K was pushed like no other. I've heard rumors 8K is right around the corner for next year. And, I mean, after that, I mean, it's just, the sky's the limit.
10K.
I mean, it's just,
we all have Willy Wonka TVs where you can actually reach in and just take your candy bar right from the television.
Right. My TV is right there for you. Yeah.
Exactly.
So, but I'm tired of it. It's like, I don't mind buying technology sometimes. I don't mind life cycles of technology. But it's like, I feel like we're in a we've talked about this before. Everything's going into the cell phone technology method. It's like you spend $1,000 on a cell phone, even though we get another call here. Hold on. No, we're not answering that one. So that's a spam call. We don't take those calls. I should have answered. Dad's the Game podcast. How can we help you? But I kind of feel like we're going into the cell phone technology, rotation every 2 years. I mean, cell phones are $1,000. You have them for 2 years, and then they know that you're going to want a new cell phone, so they started leasing cell phones out to you. So you pay monthly payments on a cell phone at $30, $40 a month. Sometimes it's $40, $50, sometimes depending on what the phone is. And then every 2 years, hey, you're eligible for an upgrade system. At what point are video game systems going to move into this method? I mean, I feel like if it doesn't move into the method of online only, where you just download the games and you basically just have the little box, at a reduced price for the system, and then it's just streaming, like a lot of companies are saying, like, I honestly think, like, this is option B. Like, you will start leasing out video game systems because you're basically making us upgrade into a new video game system every 2 years.
Yep.
So,
speaking of, like, I just saw something that said that we can expect the PS5 or whatever it's eventually going to be called, holiday 2019, if they can make enough of them, because the processors or some piece of their architecture for the next one is a very highly sought piece.
Sure.
And that they're actually having a difficulty in purchasing the part that they need to mass produce the next set of consoles. So if they can build enough, they will come out next Christmas, like after this year. So,
well, and we've been talking about that for a while, and it would be interesting to watch PlayStation Expo this year, because I'm like, we knew that they weren't going to do it at E3. It was fine. E3, they just focused on games. I'd be surprised if that is the rumor right now. Like, if they're going to do it next year, I guarantee you'll either see it at PlayStation Expo or you'll see it at E3 next year.
Guaranteed it would be E3 next year, like, without a doubt. Usually that's what they do, because they'll tell you just when there's only a few months to go, and then they'll say, okay, and starting tomorrow, you can pre-order it. Yeah. Because that's what they've done with everything else.
And then a year later, we'll come out with a newer and better system, and it'll be clearer.
All of you idiots that buy the PS5 day one,
exactly.
We will have less than 6 months after that. We will have a couple really cool ones with more memory for the same price. But screw all of you people that bought it early.
I kind of feel that way, man. Seriously, like, every time I'm like, well, because we have so many friends that play on PlayStation, we have so many friends that play on, like, Xbox and PC and stuff like that. Like, honestly, like, I'm at the point too where it's like, I may wait, a year, depending. Well, it boils down to the games. And that's what it always boils down to with me. Because, like, with PlayStation 4, I mean, they had a huge opening lineup, like, way more than Xbox did. Like, Xbox only maybe had 2-3 games. Xbox was struggling for the longest time to come up with games. I mean, that was their MO for the longest time. They were like, Xbox One was like the Wii U. I mean, it was their time to basically just screw the pooch. PlayStation, though, has never been a situation to where they're like, our opening intro of games, is far to be desired. I mean, because they had, like, what was it, like Fallout? No, it was, what was the game? Killzone or something like that? I mean, they had Call of Duty. I mean, they just had a ton of opening games that just destroyed it. I mean, it was just unreal. So, yeah, it'll boil down to games. I mean, bottom line. So, but I think we've gotten off track long enough. So let's finish the show. Got about 15 minutes here, so we'll finish the rest of our stories here. But I did want to bring up, obviously, Far Cry 5. The final release DLC package is going to be released August 28th. Zombies. The funny thing, too, I didn't know if you knew, they're bringing in the ongoing joke that's been in that whole dang game. If you played Far Cry 5, you'll know what I'm talking about when I say Blood Dragon. Obviously, it's an homage to the Blood Dragon game that they came out with. And they had a whole mission set in Far Cry 5 that was devoted to Blood Dragon. The Blood Dragon actually is going to be in this DLC. So I thought it was kind of cool. It's an 80s fire-breathing lizard. So very interesting. Also, for Nintendo fans out there and still playing Splatoon, tools are obviously one of history's greatest achievements. It's what separates mankind from beasts. The way we eat was, forever changed thanks to some silverware. However, the squids are now superior species in Splatoon 2. A new Splatfest event is taking place in the pits, Forks Against Spoons. On August 24th, this Friday, it will be a competition over cutlery. So either choose Team Fork or choose Team Spoon. Interesting.
How about we just mate them and then you get Team Spork?
Team Spork. I'll choose the middle there. I think I'm
best of both worlds.
I think I'm Team. I don't know. I think I'm Team Fork just because they use the fork for more, everything. I mean, obviously Spoon. I don't know, ice cream, soups, things like that. I don't know. It's a good one. So we'll see how that turns out. The other game I want to talk about as well is Scum. The highly technically detailed survival action game is launching on Steam Early Access on August 29th. The open world multiplayer game made headlines with this unprecedented detail on survival mechanics. Gamepires, the developer, a relatively small, unknown developer to be precise, is trying to stand out of the ever-crowded, obviously, Battle Royale market. The other funny story I want to talk about Battle Royale market, too, I don't know if you noticed or got a saw it this week, but Battlefield showed their very first look at what the Battlefield's going to look like for their Battle Royale. It was interesting because basically they do the same concept. Obviously, the map shrinks in on you, but the map in Battlefield basically is covered in fire. So yeah. So I thought that was very interesting. Yeah.
I'm confused though. Playing a Battlefield game.
Yeah.
It's kind of like you're already playing a Battle Royale.
Sometimes,
game.
Yeah. Except for the map doesn't collapse on you. This time it'll just be that way.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. To me, that those games are the ones that more kind of started that whole thing where I know you were playing like 50 versus 50 or whatever, but it was just such large scale PvP, whatever, that it just seems like that was what kind of started that kind of idea. Yeah. And then they went, well, what if you did it this way? So I don't know. Seems cool.
See. Like I said, the market out there obviously is super flooded with Battle Royale games. I mean, everybody's getting one.
I saw that Scum one. I believe they had a pretty big thing at PAX.
Yeah. Well, and I'm interested in this one too. I mean, because they said that, it's going to be more more comprehensible mechanics is what they said. So not like being able to see enemies while being, behind cover in third person view. So they're trying to make it more realistic and, because like with, obviously Fortnite and stuff like that, when it's third person and like when you're in cover, you can still see around and enemies, through walls and stuff like that. So when they're coming. So, they're trying something different. So, yeah.
Maybe even, making it be a little bit slower and more detailed might make it have something because, the sad thing is for every one of these battle royales that actually succeeds, there's like 20 of them that last maybe a week or two.
Right.
Some of them are even good, but they just can't hold people.
Sure.
Well,
because I know like PUBG's population's dying. There was what was the Wolves one? I hear it is just glitchy and full of bugs, and it's just not doing as well as they thought it would be doing. Yeah. There's that the Isle one is not holding the player base well too. It's just full of basically bugs as well. So there's a ton of out there that I think if they're well developed or if they're patched right, maybe it'll be better for them. But I think, unfortunately, just because the bubble has not burst on Fortnite as of yet, I don't see, I know Call of Duty probably has a shot. Battlefield probably has a shot. Anybody else, though, like a third-party developer or a small developer company... Yeah.
It's a very risky. It's a very risky thing. Yeah, venture to try to go into.
Yeah, just because, like I said, the bubble. Until the bubble pops on Fortnite, which I've read a lot that people are saying that honestly they think by the end of the year Fortnite's going to pop. I don't think it's going to happen, but that's what just people are saying. So I don't know.
I think by this time next year there will be a new hotness. Maybe. There'll be something.
Sure.
That's how these things go.
Sure.
Because really, they still only have one map.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing too. They have enough money to develop other maps.
People get burnt out after enough time.
Sure.
It doesn't matter how many new little goals and things and features.
Hold on, Will. You're trying to tell me fidget spinners aren't cool anymore? What the hell?
As we see you covered in them, like spinning them on both fingers on your nose,
I've been doing the Tide Pod challenge and playing with fidget spinners. So I'm trying to stay hip, kids. You tell me. I don't get it anymore. Just every trend is like every 6 months. Like seriously, now it's Fortnite. Something 6 months from now it could be something totally different. So I have no idea.
Yeah.
So,
you have to play Fortnite while doing the Kiki challenge or whatever it is, and
How many damn challenges are there? I mean, I remember the ice bucket challenge, and then there was the condom challenge, and then there was the
I don't know,
Tide Pod challenge,
one,
and then there's the
I don't understand what the Kiki challenge. What's the challenge about it?
I don't know.
You have someone drive a car, you open the door, and you dance.
Right.
While lip syncing.
That was just, what they used to call that? Ghost writing?
Ghosting,
ghost writing the whip or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not really new. It just basically just has a new name. I don't know. Yep. I mean, just whatever. I just feel like a lot of the times, like, Darwinism really hasn't really set in a lot. So I'm just waiting. Like the Russian roulette challenge. I'm going to start. Let's start that one. Go home tonight.
No. Let's the Dad's That Game does not condone the Russian roulette challenge. So please do not do that or say that I learned this from the Dad's That Game. Thank you very much.
Right. So no, that's probably my favorite joke ever. Is I don't know if you ever watch King of the Hill.
Yes.
Dale would basically went home and he was like, yeah, me and the fellas were just playing Russian roulette, and then Nancy, his wife, was like, oh, did you win? And he was all like, apparently you're not familiar with the rules. And he's like, yeah, I won. So but also big announcement obviously too. We actually know these guys. Well, Will does, I do not. But Retrotainment announced that their game, obviously, I thought their game was really, really cool. It's on Steam right now if you want to go check it out. But they have a game called Haunted Halloween 86. It's a crazy, amazing game. It's basically a classic game. It actually still comes in the classic NES cartridges, is how cool this game is.
Yeah.
They're going over to Xbox One. Starting on August 24th. So congrats to those guys. Those guys, Will's actually talked to those guys. We've actually tried to get them on the show before, but I don't think our schedules were ever able to work out. Maybe someday. I don't know. But they, super congrats to those guys. I'm very happy that they're finding success. And then the weirdest story of the week, which kind of leads me to believe that Hollywood will just grab any video franchise that they can. But Focus Home Interactive has announced that Fox 21 has snapped up the rights to Vampire, which was an average game at best. Yeah. But with the company planning on adapting basically the blood-draining adventure game for a TV series with Wonderland Sound and Vision and DJ2 Entertainment, Vampire was released on PlayStation 4, PC, and Xbox One in June, and according to Dotnode, boss Oscar Gilbert, is a fantastic premise for a television show. This is a new and exciting way for fans of the game, as well as uninitiated, to enter and engage with Vampire's rich, deep story. We cannot wait to see how the talented team at Fox 21 will bring out the darkly atmospheric universe to our game into television. Vampire takes place in London in the year 1918, at the time when the city had been hit by the devastating outbreak of Spanish flu. Players controlled Dr. Jonathan Reed, a freshly turned vampire who is struggling to come to the terms of his newfound undead powers and bloodlust. As such, it's up to players whether they want to give into that hunger and sink their teeth into London's unsuspecting citizens or spare them. Ooh. The DJ2 team loves the creative vision Dotnode and Focus devote to all their projects, added DJ2 CEO Dimitri Johnson. The great relationship we built with them since partnering on their incredible game, Life is Strange, allowed us to get on board for Vampire well before its release. Like them, we're excited to collaborate with all our friends at Fox 21 Worldland and the rest of the creative team we're assembling. Yay, I guess? I don't know.
I'm confused.
Yeah.
I thought that the video game was adapted from a tabletop game.
Probably. And now it's going to be adapted into a television show. So
I thought that it seemed like a cool idea, but when I saw it, when it was almost ready to come out, it's like how I feel about Crackdown, where we're like, if this game had come out 4 years ago, it probably would have been really cool.
Right, but because it was pushed
now,
right?
No, it is the idea is cool. The gothic looking world is cool.
Right.
It was just not well executed, unfortunately.
It was a subpar game at best. So that's all I can say.
So it's a bummer.
I don't know. We've talked about this before. Like adaptations from movie or to film, obviously are either always hit or miss. But it just feels like a lot of the times it's just always miss. Like, I mean, they tried to reboot Lara Croft like 19 billion times on movie, never worked out. They tried the game was amazing. And the new game I'm super excited about. They tried to put Max Payne into film, did a horrible job. They've tried so many other times. I mean, it's just leave video games alone. That's all I'm saying. I mean, video games have their own way. They have their own stories and stuff like that. Obviously, I know that if you people always tell me, like, I think it's funny because like Bill Maher actually made fun of this week. He was like, why do people always tell me, that, video games have amazing stories? Because honestly, if you read them like a book, they would read like this. And he had the story of Tomb Raider. She was like, I was in the forest alone. I looked up, I looked left, I looked right, and then I moved forward. So it was just kind of funny how he wrote it. But they do have amazing stories, obviously. The cinematic stories are amazing with what they mean, not the gameplay stories. But the... like I said, I think like the video games should be left alone. I don't think they need to be cross media played. I really don't. No, I really don't. And I mean, I have
extremely high hopes for The Witcher.
Sure, I'm really hoping they don't screw the pooch on that one. And I mean, I guess I could be wrong though, because Castlevania was amazing, but also Castlevania was animated.
Was a cartoon, yeah.
So
there's a difference. Yeah. I think a lot of times you can get better results by doing it animated style.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Well, I mean, I'll give everybody a chance, but I feel like a lot of the times there's you try to take there's already a creative vision at hand, and you're basically trying to make a new creative vision, but also tie in the creative vision that was originally there. Hard to do. So very hard to do. So, but that's all we had time for. Obviously, Gamescom this whole week, starting the 21st to the 25th. We will bring you more and more stories next week on our show, because we will have updates from Gamescom. We will be watching that all week, I promise you.
Yep. Cyberpunk has new information coming this week. They just announced it. So
check it out.
There's just so many things that they're saying this week. There's going to be announcements. So
it should be amazing.
We'll have all kinds of news for everybody.
I guarantee it. But thank you for listening. Make sure you check us out Thursday nights Podcast Radio Network. Thank you to Brian for calling. That was amazing. So we finally got somebody to call. Even though Will couldn't hear him, and then it was just awkward for a couple minutes. I wouldn't know how cool
that was because I didn't hear it.
I'm sorry. I'll figure that out later. We'll figure it out in a different way, okay? But thank you for listening. We will check you out next week. Be safe. Be healthy. We love you. Bye now.
Thank you for listening to the Dads That Game radio podcast. Email us your questions and hate mail to dadsthatgamepodcast@gmail.com.